Think you know C loops? Let us test it with 10 tricky MCQs that can even confuse pros. Good day and welcome to VSS Tech Studies. If you are a beginner or preparing for interviews, this session is for you. Let's get started. Before we jump into the first question, I would recommend checking out my earlier video on C loops explained and tracing questions solved. You will find the link in the description box and also as a card above. That session will give you a solid foundation for today's tricky MCQs. Okay, let's begin with question 1. The question 1, what is the output? All the questions you will have to trace the given program and write the output. So you better after reading the question, pause the video, write your answer and then see to multiple choices given. So that will help to learn better. Okay. So the options given for this are, so if you trace this program, I is a variable, that is name of memory location. Here we have for loop, means it repeats execution of some instructions. Which instructions? For this loop body there is only one instruction, so printing will be repeated. So percentage %d means I value printing is repeated. So I is first time 0, next time 1, next time 2, next time 3. So for 0, 1, 2, printing will be done. When it becomes 3, printing will not be done because this condition fails. That is why on the monitor 0, 1, 2 is printed. Okay. So when for loop is over, the next instruction is leave the line, means on the monitor a line is left and the control will stand here, and hence option B is correct. So the answer of this is option B. Okay. Check yourself whether you reached at the same answer, yes or no. Okay. Next, second question, which is tricky, in which most of the people go wrong and exactly in which we can lead any interviews if we know right. So please pause the video and write your answer first. So here I is a variable and we have for loop here. So the loop body has only one instruction, means it is wrong, because semicolon is here only, means there are no instructions for loop. Then what it does, it starts from I equal to 0. It will initialize to 0. It will check the condition, yes I is less than 3. Then it will do incrementing. So I becomes 1. Again it will check, it is less than 3. Again it will increment. So 2 is less than 3. Again it will increment. I becomes 3. So but this time condition fails because 3 is not less than 3. It goes out of the loop, means semicolon is here only. After that means this instruction. So what is mentioned there? So printing percentage %d I means I value is printed on the monitor. So on the monitor I value is how much? By the time it left the loop it was 3. So 3 is printed. So the next instruction is leave the line, means on the monitor that line will be left and it will stand in the next position, and hence the correct answer for this is option D. Okay, is it not tricky? So we must train ourselves to lead in all such questions, then definitely we can lead in any interviews. Okay. So here in this section what I didn't do is, int I means a variable declaration, that is a memory location is reserved by name I. Then in for loop first it is initialized with 0. Then 0 is less than 3 means since semicolon is here only, no loop body, then what it does, just increment. 0 is taken out and I is made 1 now. So condition checking is done, 1 is less than 3. So then it should increment. So 1 is gone, I is now 2. 2 is less than 3. Then increment. So 2 is gone, I becomes 3. Now 3 with 3 is checked. Is 3 less than 3? No, this condition fails. Then it has to go out of the loop, means after this semicolon, and hence it comes here. Printing of I value on the monitor means by the time it had left it was 3, and hence on the monitor 3 is printed. Okay. So such kind of memory diagram or visualization I didn't do. So you please see to my previous video session on C loops explained and tracing the loops for output, wherein I have explained with memory diagram like this. From that you can learn visualization, what happens to the variables. That is exactly what is required for perfect tracing of the given program, or for anybody to write the code correctly on their own. Okay. So next, third instruction, I variable is declared here. Here we have for loop, I is initialized to 0. So 0 is less than 3, it is true, hence loop body gets executed. So there is no semicolon here, means next loop body is present. So this is start of loop body, this is end of loop body. Then there are two instructions, that is this is first instruction and second instruction. These two get repeatedly executed for every value of I. So this is very important point. Okay. So what is done inside loop? First printing of I value, then leaving the line, that is done. So when I is 0, because it is less than 3, on the monitor printing of I value and then leaving the line. So next time I is made 1 because incrementing is mentioned. So 1 is less than 3, so printing and leaving the line. Next time I is incremented, 2 is printed and leave the line. Then I is made 3. When I is made 3, 3 is not less than 3. Then it will leave the loop. So the next instruction is end of program. And hence on the monitor we have 0, 1, 2 being printed, each in different line. Okay. Hence if you see two multiple choices here, which is the correct option? C is the correct option. Okay. So next, fourth question, I variable is declared. We have for loop here, I is initialized with 0. 0 is less than 3. Then no semicolon here, means loop body has to be there. It will be executed. So no curly braces also here. Okay. Then only one instruction will be considered as loop body. So what is done in this? Printing of I value and leaving the line. Both the tasks are mentioned in single statement. So this statement gets executed repeatedly as long as I is less than 3. So when I is 0, 0 is printed, line is left. Then I is incremented because that is mentioned here. So I is made 1, 1 is less than 3. So it is printed and it will leave the line. So I is made 2, 2 is less than 3, it will be printed and it will leave the line. But next when I is incremented, when it becomes 3, 3 is not less than 3, it will leave the loop body, means after this instruction it will come here. So that is end of program. And hence if you see to the choices here also, the option C is correct, that is printing I value 0, 1, 2 in separate line every time. Okay. So next, question number 5. Two variables are declared here. So you'll have to visualize two memory locations, I and x. X is initialized with 0. Next we have here for loop. I is initialized to 0. Is 0 less than 5? Yes, it is true. Then loop body must be executed. There is no semicolon here. Then no curly braces also. Then only one statement belongs to for loop. So what is done in that? Printing of I value on the monitor. So that is why on the monitor I value will be printed starting from 0 as long as it is less than 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So continuously it will be printed because no space or new line is mentioned. So next when I is incremented, it becomes 5. But this condition fails now. I is not less than 5 because 5 is not less than 5. It goes out of loop, means this was loop body. After that this instruction comes. So control jumps from here to here, skipping this. So they're printing x equal to. That is the message. Here just x equal to is printed. Percentage d value, that is referred from I memory location. So when loop body was left, I was 5, hence 5 is printed. That is why the correct answer is D. So that is this. Most of the people choose this, which is wrong, because when control had left the loop body from here to here, I had become 5. So when I had become 5, 5 is less than 5, that condition is false, hence it could leave and skip this. Okay. So that is why this is the correct answer. Okay. So after fifth one, this could be very easy for you. So declaration of two variables is done here. Next for loop is there. So I is initialized to 0. Is 0 less than 5? So yes, then loop body must be executed. No semicolon here, no curly braces here. Hence only one instruction belongs to for loop body. So that gets executed repeatedly as long as I is less than 5. So what is mentioned here? Print I value. So on the monitor, as long as I is less than 5, starting from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they are printed. Next time when I is made 5, 5 is not less than 5. So this condition is false. Then skipping this, the control goes to next line, that is out of the loop body. Till here it was loop body. Now out of loop body means it comes here. There x equal to, so x equal to is printed, but this time percentage d for that x memory location is referred and that value is substituted. X so far it is not changed, it was initialized 0, now also it is 0 only, and hence 0 will be printed on the monitor. Okay, so if you see two multiple choices here, so which is right? So option A is right. Okay. Only those candidates who can visualize the memory content at every line of instruction, they can write this correct. So in this line x is 0. In all these lines x is not manipulated at all. When control comes out of loop body, here x value is printed because x equal to percentage d means x memory location content only is substituted here. When x is not manipulated, x was 0 and 0 only will be printed. So x equal to 0 only is printed. So that is why here in these two lines x is 0. But this option is wrong. 5 cannot be printed because when I was 5, because 5 is not less than 5, condition was false, the control had left the loop. When it leaves the loop, this loop body will not be executed, that is printing of I, printing of 5 will not be done. Hence this option is wrong. So this option is also wrong because when x is not manipulated, x will be 0, it cannot become 5 or 4. So such thinking can help to write the answer correctly, and more practice on such problems can help to answer very quickly and correctly. Okay. Next, seventh question. Little bit you observe here, which is the loop body. So there is no semicolon, no curly braces also, only one statement then can be in loop body. So just because same margin is here, this doesn't belong to loop body. So after this instruction, both are at different margins, but so this is the next instruction and this is the first instruction to that, and this forms the loop body. Okay, with this background, next let us write its output. So I and x variables are declared and x is initialized to 0 in this statement. In the next statement, it is for loop statement. I is initialized to 0, 0 is less than 5. Then loop body gets executed because no semicolon here and no curly braces, and hence only this statement is the loop body. So this gets executed as long as I is less than 5, starting from 0 and every time I getting incremented. So what is done in this printf statement? Percentage d, where I memory content is substituted, and hence on the monitor starting from 0. So 0 is printed, 1, 2, 3, 4, because no space mentioned, no new line mentioned here in this double quotes. So when I becomes 5, 5 is not less than 5, condition is false. So the control goes out of loop body means the loop body was still here. So it goes to next statement. So out of loop body, when control comes to next statement, there it is x equal to x plus I, means x memory is assigned taking x and adding to I. So when control had left the loop, I was 5, because 5 is not less than 5, hence it could leave the loop. This loop body was not executed, that is printing of I, that is printing of 5 was not done. So I was 5. Now x equal to x plus 5 means x was 0. 0 plus I means 0 plus 5, that is 5. That 5 will be placed in x. So in next statement, printing x equal to. So x equal to percentage d. So from memory location x it is substituted. X had become 5. So 5 is printed. Then the correct option in the given multiple choices is option B. Okay. So when this answer is correct, let us think why other answers are wrong. Such practice can help to answer the thing just at a glance of the program. Such practice is needed to lead the competitions, because in less time we'll have to solve the questions there, because it is a competition, right? So this choice is wrong because x equal to 0 is written, x cannot be 0, x is manipulated here. This is also wrong, x equal to 0. Then why this is wrong? 0 to 4 is written, that is correct. Because when I was 5 here, 5 was not less than 5, condition was false. It had left the loop and gone to next instruction. Loop end body is here. So it will skip this. Printing of 5 will not be done. Okay. But 5 is given here. That is why it is wrong. Only this is the correct answer. So not only solving the question, what conclusion we can make out of that question is very important. So we'll have to remember the conclusions and go to next learning always. Okay. So next, eighth question. A and x are declared here. X is initialized to 0. In this for loop statement, I is initialized to 0. Is 0 less than 5? Yes, it is true. Then no semicolon. Observe begin and end are here. So in loop body, so this and this, there are two instructions. These two instructions get executed repeatedly as long as I is less than 5, starting from 0. Okay. So that is first important point. Next, what is done in the loop body? In the first instruction, percentage %d I means I memory location content is written every time. Then in second instruction, x value is changed. X is assigned x plus I. Every time whatever value of I is there, it is added to existing value of x and the result is kept back in x. Okay. So on the monitor, I starting from 0 to 4. So print I value with no space, next and no new line. So 0 is printed, 1, 2, 3, 4. So every time when I is 0, it is added to x and it is kept back in x. So in x memory location, first I was 0, that is added to x and kept back in x. So it is 0. Next 1 is added. So x becomes 1. So next 2 is added. So this 1 plus 2 is 3, hence 3 is kept in x. Next 3 is added to 3, that is 6. X is having 6 now. Next time 4 is added. So 4 plus 6. So x plus I. When I was 4, 4 is added to x. X was 6, I was 4. 4 plus 6. Hence 10 is kept in x. So x will have 10. Next case when I becomes 5, because I is incremented every time. When I becomes 5, 5 is not less than 5. This condition fails. So control goes to next instruction. Loop end is here. So the control goes to next instruction means it comes to this instruction. Okay. So what is done there? X equal to. So x equal to is printed. So percentage d value is substituted from x memory. So that is 10. So 10 is printed. Hence the correct answer is here which option? D option. Okay. When option D is correct, why other options are wrong? This option is wrong because x is manipulated. X cannot be 0 here. Next, why this is wrong? X equal to 5 is written. X cannot be just 5 because it is inside the loop. Okay. Every time I changes, it is added to x and it is kept back in x. Then why this is wrong? X equal to 10 correctly it is written. But printing of 5 will not be done. When I is 5, 5 is not less than 5. It will go to next statement after the loop end. Hence it will have skipped printing of 5, that is printing of 5. So that is what is this 8th question and its solution. Okay. Next, ninth question. It is like 8th question only. Little bit difference is there. That is why it is tricky. Okay. So I and x values are declared and x is initialized to 0 in this statement. Next, for loop is here. I is initialized with 0. 0 is less than 5. So there is semicolon here. That is why no loop body, just I goes on incrementing till 5. So when it is 5, 5 is not less than 5, it will leave the loop, means after this semicolon, it goes to next one. So next one, though begin and end are here, whether they are there or not, it doesn't make any difference. So this is first instruction, this is next instruction, after that it goes here. No repetition at all because loop ended here only. The point to be noted, I was 5 when it left the loop and next to loop means it will go here only because loop end is here, semicolon is here. Okay. Now if you trace, so in this for loop I is made 0 till I becomes 5, it gets incremented. So I is made 1, next 2, 3, 4. 4 is less than 5, then increment. So I is made 5. But 5 is not less than 5, condition fails. Hence it goes out of loop body, means after this semicolon control comes here. So in this printf percentage %d with I value. So that is why on the monitor 5 is printed. So in next line x equal to x plus I. So x was 0, 0 plus I means 0 plus 5, that is kept back in x. So x is made 5 now. So in next line x equal to, so x equal to, then I value is substituted here. I value was 5, so that is printed here. That is why in these multiple choices the correct option is B. So 5x equal to 5 is printed on the monitor. Okay. So when option B is correct, why other options are wrong? This is wrong because x equal to 0. Here 0 to 5 are printed. They will not be printed because loop end is here only. Every time I from 0 it goes on incrementing, but I is not printed. Only when I becomes 5, 5 is not less than 5, it will leave the loop, means it will go to next line where I value is printed on the monitor. That is why only 5 is printed, 0 to 5 is not printed, and hence this is also wrong and only this is correct. Okay. Next, last one. In this I and x are declared, those two variables. Next for loop statement is there. X is initialized to 0. 0 is less than 10. Loop body then must be executed. There is no semicolon here, no begin and end curly braces. And hence only this statement, single statement, forms the loop body. Okay. What this loop body or this statement does? It is printf statement. It prints percentage %d means x value every time on the monitor and then leaves the space. Two jobs it does, printing x value and leaving the space. And hence on the monitor, starting from x equal to 0 because it is less than 10. So 0 is printed, space is left. Then x is incremented by 2. This is very important. So x is made 2 now, 2 is less than 10. So 2 is printed, space is left. Next time x is incremented, 2 plus 2 it is 4. 4 is less than 10, so 4 is printed, space is left. Next adding 2 to x means 4 plus 2 6, 6 is less than 10. So 6 is printed, space is left. Next 6 plus 2x is made 8. 8 is less than 10. 8 is printed, space is left. Next time x is made 10. This time 10 less than 10, this condition fails. That is why control goes out of the loop. Loop body end is here. Out means next to that what instruction is there. Return 0. That is end of program. Hence on the monitor we have only even numbers with space in between starting from 0 to 8 being printed. So out of these multiple choices, the option D is correct. Okay. So what we can note down in this example, this incrementing or decrementing can be done here for the index value. So this is the index here. It can be I or X, whichever variable is mentioned. So that becomes the index. Here initialization statement, either it can be done in brackets here prior to this in any instruction. Next condition is a must. Then last one, incrementing or decrementing, is a must. It can be done either here or inside the loop body. Anyway, for loop means initialization, checking the condition, and incrementing or decrementing of index has to be there. Okay. Next, here is a challenge for you. You trace this program and try to write the output correctly. If you are a complete beginner, watch my previous video on C loops explained and tracing output questions solved. And these 10 problems is a must. So if you can solve this challenge correctly, then you can take it that you know for loop. Okay. If you have any queries or facing any problems in solving the questions, you can drop them in the comments. They will be discussed and answer will be given. Okay. With that, we come to the end of session. Is the session helpful? Write your feedback or any suggestions. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe Tech Studies for more such C programming sessions and Tech Plus motivation. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.